All right, I'm on the phone with Ellsworth football coach Duane Crawford, as we are every Monday and Thursday during football season. And Coach, congratulations. What a thrilling victory Friday night on homecoming weekend.
Yeah, it was a tale of two halves, actually, 3 quarters and then 1 quarter, but it was a lot of fun.
Well, I was stuck 100 yards away from the high school as overtime started, and I could have parked and walked in and seen the overtime. I was so frustrated because you know how traffic is at Ellsworth High School right now, and it was just unbelievable. So tell us about the game.
Well, it was, we always play Washington Academy close, and we've been doing this for 5 years now, and I think we're pretty even on the wins and losses with them. But it's we started out and we struggled the first half. I mean, we were down 22-0 at halftime, and the kids and they were. It was not long sustained drives. It was things that broke down. We'd have a back cornered in the backfield for a 10 or 15 yard loss, and we wouldn't break down and make the tackle, and they'd go backside and go 50 yards for a touchdown, things like that. So, in fact, most of their scores were like that, with the exception of a tight end pop pass that our defensive back came up and thought he was going to make a play in the backfield and left the coverage, and the guy was just standing alone in the end zone. So, but the first half was pretty much that entire scenario. We either gave up the edge, we couldn't set the edge, or we'd have them tackled for a loss, and they'd break away and break one off for a long touchdown. So, we talked to the kids at halftime, and we made a few adjustments and talked to them about what was working and what wasn't, and they came out and we got it to 22-6, and then they score again, and it's 28-6, and then we rattle off enough points in the fourth quarter to tie it up with 2.7 seconds left, and going to overtime. So, we had a great, what we call compression tackle with a back in the backfield, where you have a guy on either side of him, and then Chuck Hughes comes running in and steals the ball and takes it away and takes it down to the 4 or 5 yard line for us, and that sets up the score. And we force them to punt, and the snap goes over the punter's head, and we recover that down on about the 10 yard line, and that sets up another score. So we got back in the game in the fourth quarter, and rattled off all those points and unanswered, and it just seemed to all start to click. And momentum's such a huge thing in football, and it seems like once you get that momentum, things just kind of keep going, and that's what happened for us. And the overtime was, you start at 10, you each get a chance to score. 4 plays, we scored on our third play, I believe. We didn't get.
You had the ball first.
Right, we did. We had the ball first, and then they got it. They threw a pass on their fourth down. We knocked the pass down. We got called for pass interference.
Oh.
Yeah, which was I won't comment on that one.
Well, the flag's a flag, right? Yeah.
Right, exactly. And then so that gives them 4 more downs. So essentially, they had 8 shots to score them, and I think they were on the 2 yard line at one point, and we pushed them all the way back to the 30. And the last pass, Andrew Brown got called for the pass interference in the first 4 series that they had in overtime, and then fittingly, the last pass they threw up over the middle, and he batted it down, and that was the end of the game.
Oh, that's vindication.
Yes, yeah, it was probably the most exciting game I've ever been involved in. I've never coached an overtime game, but that last drive coming down to get it to overtime, and we got the ball back with just over a minute. They'd scored to go ahead of us, 28-22, and we had just over a minute left to play, and we drove the ball right down the field, and of course we're having to call two plays at a time. And we get it, and I think there was maybe 5 seconds left on the clock, and score with 2.7 seconds left.
Amazing.
To send it to overtime. But the kudos that I want to throw out there is, this is a young group of kids, and to be in that situation with, to score with 2.7 seconds left, and to have to call multiple plays to get the ball down the field without burning up all the time, and to get everything done as quickly as we did. I mean, those kids just have ice water running through their veins. No one panicked. No one, forgot what they were supposed to do. Everything just kind of came together. We worked as a team, and they put it all together and executed perfectly, and put the ball in the end zone, and then we go to overtime. So it was, to have freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and a couple of seniors out there to be able to do that, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's maturity in right during the game. I mean, that's what happens.
Yeah, it was definitely the field was tons of spectators there, and the band stayed, and it was deafening. Somebody said they heard it all the way down by Water Street. So
I heard the boys were in tears as they walked off the field.
Yeah, it was pretty emotional. I mean, it's homecoming, and
exactly first victory of the season. I mean,
yeah, it was pretty special, especially for those seniors that are playing. That's their last homecoming, and to do it in the fashion that they did it. And we have a football thread on Messenger, and some of the posts to that after the game, where when I'm 60, I'm going to be remembering this. And, it's the biggest thing in my life, and and it will be. That's something they're going to talk about their entire lives. So it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad we were able to pull it out.
Did you award a game ball?
I did. Actually, we're going to award a second game ball. We awarded one to Charlie Hughes because that stripped. That was a really heads-up play, and that's a sophomore. We stood the runner-up in the backfield for about a 10-yard loss, and Charlie, from his linebacker position, comes running in and just strips the ball out, and that's a heads-up play. You wouldn't expect a sophomore to do that. Usually, they're just going to throw in and help out with the tackle. But we had him stood up. The ball was there. He just ripped it out of his hands, and off he went. And so that was really the big change right there. That got us to the point where we're back in the ball game. So we gave him the game ball Friday night, but Jacob Shorey is going to get a game ball tonight. He had 113 yards on 23 carries and 4 touchdowns. So
monster yards.
That was, he was. He was just a beast inside, and it was grinded out stuff. A lot of the runs were either off tackle or over the center, and he just did a great job. So.
All right, so you've got an extra day this week, but you're playing at Dexter on Saturday against undefeated Dexter.
Right.
So, what do you work on this week?
Well, you look at breaking down tape this weekend, and I haven't seen their last game against Stearns. It wasn't up as of last night, but you've got to look and see what they give you, and they're a really good team. They got 16 seniors on the team. It's a team that they're balanced. They throw the ball well. They run well. They on defense, they cover the pass well. They stop the run well. Obviously, they're 4-0. So, it presents a lot of challenges, and we just have to look and see what they're going to give us, and try not to be too fancy, and try to maintain possession of the ball as long as we can to keep it out of the offensive hands. So
probably that extra day is helpful as you're able to game plan against them this week.
It is. It definitely is. And we have a JV game tonight at home against Mountain View. So we're going to play that, and we'll have the varsity, those that don't play on the JV out, and we'll go through a walkthrough and talk to them about what we're thinking about doing for this week. And then Tuesday night we'll put everything in, install it, and then we have Wednesday and Thursday as 2 work days this week.
Yeah.
So, just rep it out, and it's probably going to be fairly simple. We lost Javon Williams, who's the fastest guy on the team. He's been battling injuries all year, and he hurt his knee in practice actually Thursday. Tried playing Friday night, but he made it through to halftime, and then I had the trainer look at him. So he's got a knee injury, and probably won't be back. So we have to look and see what we do well, and just do that, and try not to make things too fancy, and keep it simple, and just rep it over and over again this week, so the kids don't even have to think about it on Saturday.
All right, Coach. Enjoy the afterglow. We'll talk to you on Thursday, and have a great week.
Thanks, Chris.